My dear viewers, you're still on to the Polity, coming to you live from King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network Television, KAFTAN Television. And my name is still Dayo, Omoogun. And my guest is here now, Ibrahim Jibril, Public Affairs Analyst. And I'm sure that he'll do great justice to what we've got on the plate today. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes, good to have you.
My pleasure too.
And it must be, this is passion for you to come all the way from, drive all the way from Lokoja to get
Definitely.
For this program.
Definitely.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
That shows, that's the Nigerian spirit. We want a beautiful Nigeria. And so many of us are working towards that, giving of our time, giving of our resources. How much would it have cost you to put fuel in your car to get here?
Honestly, yeah.
So, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
And now, we want to look at an array, bouquet of issues.
All right.
And so, talking about, what do you call it now? The nation's state.
State of the nation. Yep.
Yeah, so first of all, I think we should look at, there's this story where the Chief of Defense Staff has said that the United Nations must probe the funding and equipping, the training of Boko Haram. Apparently this is coming from a place of suspicion that there must be some international involvement for that sect to have remained this relevant, to have had this staying power, to have remained this relevant for so long. This is definitely over 10 years.
Over 10 years, yeah.
And then, and then they are not only still in force, they are even deploying all kinds of new technologies to carry out their evil
assignment,
agenda. And so, what's your take on this?
Definitely, it's not impossible, for the authorities to have overlooked the fact that people outside the shores of this country are involved in the funding, in the training and retraining, in energizing the Boko Haram in Nigeria. Yes, the reason is because, like you said, they have remained active for over a decade now, and it is still a mirage for some of us observing from the sideline to begin to think that others are not involved. For example, I remember vividly the late military head of state, General Sani Abacha, that said, yes, that
crisis,
you know that if any insurgents lasted more than 24 hours, then the government is involved.
Yeah. So that is the government of the land.
Is involved.
That is the country,
of course.
Yes.
It's not possible for international governments or interest to come and fund Boko Haram in Nigeria without, some people within aiding them,
facilitating it.
Honestly, how do they get their weapons? How do they get fuel, for example, to carry out, to move their machines from one place to the other? How do they access their weapons? At a time, we heard that a helicopter, was seen dropping guns and ammunition for Boko Haram somewhere in this country.
Yes.
So it is.
Where did that helicopter come from?
That is it.
Who sponsored the shipment? Who?
Is the Air Force now telling me that an aircraft, a helicopter, or a chopper, or what have you, can just fly into the radar without the radar capturing it?
Into the airspace?
Into the airspace of Nigeria without the radar capture. I mean, it's not possible. So somehow, people are involved.
So, and you're saying, even if there is international involvement, it is also being aided locally.
I think last week there was a news that made rounds you know, about an officer of the Nigeria police, you know, I don't want to mention names, an assistant inspector general of police or assistant commissioner of police.
Okay, I think I saw that. I think I saw that.
So that man was caught. He's a Nigerian. He's in position of authority. He's somebody that we are supposed to be leveraging on
for our security.
At the end of the day, he's been involved. And let me tell you, that is how that news will die down. Because there are still some vested interest operating from behind
the scenes.
You know, which, of course, you and I are not privy to. So at the end of the day, you find out that some people, because of their selfish interest, are interested in this game of Boko Haram continuing. And that is why we are where we are today.
And that is why we are even having new sects also springing up elsewhere.
Of course, you see, you read on the various social media platforms, you know, a militia group announcing to the public that they want to recruit people to come and aid them in carrying out their heinous crimes. And the Nigerian system, the Nigerian government are aware that things like this are happening. They are aware that things like this are happening. But it's very, very unfortunate that people who we are supposed to beckon on to fight this menace are, in quote, directly or indirectly involved in facilitating their activities.
That's sad, because so you are saying that we cannot even even if we ask the international body to investigate where the funds are flowing from.
Yes,
we must also look at the local components that makes it
possible for those international will I say interest
yes,
to flow in to the country in the first place. For example, nobody can come to your house to destabilize your house, directly or indirectly, without somebody from your own house aiding him or her. So it's the same. It's simple. Consider what is happening elsewhere vis-a-vis nations, territories, you know, countries. It is not possible for somebody to infiltrate into your system, your policy, without somebody within compromising. It's not possible. So that is what is happening. Yes, we have international conspiracy, but conspirators, but have we looked inward? We have to start this fight from within. Our enemy is from within.
Much more than
without.
Let me paint this picture.
Yeah.
Because I think that's where this feeling is coming from that has been expressed by the CDS.
Yeah.
Apparently he has looked at how much money Nigeria has committed to this war, how many men have lost their lives,
yeah,
several lost limbs, arms and limbs, some maimed forever, and then some deranged. It's that's a different level of, they are no longer in their elements because of certain experiences they have had. And then when you put that side by side with the results that we have gotten thus far, it pales totally. It doesn't compare.
It doesn't match.
It doesn't match.
Yes.
Apparently, this is what has got him worried for him to say, look, well, maybe we should look at this other side. Now, let me paint a picture of what I think he's talking about. I'm a pot maker.
Okay.
And I'm making a pot.
Okay.
But you you are stronger than I am, you have more resources than I am, and you are poking holes into the pot.
Okay.
So no matter the effort I put into making that, it's getting frustrated.
Yes.
It can't hold water.
Yes.
Because there are so many holes coming into the pot.
Yes.
Now, so will that be my fault or your fault, the external force?
It depends. Do you have the capacity to even make that pot in the first place? Looking at that, or looking at this scenario from that angle,
yes,
of, you know,
because
pot maker.
If they're looking, if you look at it and see, okay, but we've put so much money into this, we've done all this.
See, you can't make laws that cannot be applied. That is the problem we are having in this country.
How do you mean? How do you mean?
Now, the Boko Haram, members of Boko Haram, for example, militants and what have you, are carrying sophisticated guns. They have access to weapons.
That goes back to the concern of the CDS. How are they getting these sophisticated weapons?
I am not the one that is importing. We've got customs, all right?
Yes.
We've got the army, we've got the navy,
we've got immigration.
we've got the immigration. These are licensed authorities trained to monitor our borders and to ensure that these things, ammunitions and arms, are not, you know, gotten into the country, into the shores of this Nigeria,
through
unofficial, official or unofficial. That is the way I will look at it, because we are talking about human lives here.
Yes.
No, we are talking about security.
Nigeria will definitely have to import arms officially. I mean, state actor.
Let me. If I have the privilege of meeting the CDS, I will ask him.
Right.
When last was the defense arm of this nation audited? When last?
Well, that's a security matter. It's usually not put in the open.
That is it. The guns, the bullets, the ammunitions that these Boko Harams are using is from a source.
I hope you're not hinting at that it's also from our supplies.
It can be from anywhere. because many a times in this country we've come to understand, read, okay, last week an assistant commissioner of police from the northern state, I don't want to mention the name of the state, was caught delivering ammunitions to Boko Haram. Where is the source of that ammunition?
To bandits also. Okay.
So these are things. We are not sincere. It is one thing to say that we want to fight insurgency. It is another thing to put in all our inner strength and to have that sincerity of purpose of fighting it. A lot of people are gaining.
Yeah, that's correct.
I
believe.
Yes, a lot of people are gaining from this. The budget is so huge. The votes to fighting banditry, insurgency in Nigeria is so huge that a lot of people cannot even take their eyes off it. So at the end of the day, the military that are at the forefront, the soldiers, the police that are at the forefront of fighting this insecurity are helpless. We talk to one or two or three, few of them. Some confided in us. Okay, you are holding a catapult and waging war, or you are trying to stop somebody with a rocket launcher. How possible is that? So that is the situation. So the CDS Of course, I commend him to have come forward to say that, oh, we should look at this thing from a different angle.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, the Chief of Defense Staff. But while we will be looking at that, we should also try as much as possible to sanitize our system internally, so that at the end of the day, it will not be a situation where you build a house, or you are trying to build a house, you supply all the cement, your sand, the aggregates, your blocks, and another person is taking away.
As you supply,
it's been taken away. It's been stolen. So that is the problem. If at all the government wants to fight insurgency in this country, they will do that.
You think there's not been the political will or total sincerity? That's what you're saying?
Yes. There is no total sincerity of purpose to fighting Boko Haram or insurgency. For over 10 years, this thing has been on. For over 10 years.
Now let's look at another angle to this.
All right.
That might be feeding, that might truly be feeding what we're seeing.
Okay.
And that's the angle of social weaknesses. I mean, if you permit me to use that expression, a situation where you have so much poverty, so much hunger, so much unemployment. Does this not provide an
opportunity,
an enabling environment for this kind of thing to thrive? Because while we use kinetic means to deal with some of these things,
yes,
we must also look at what are the factors, the supporting factors.
Yes, you see, yes, when people are hungry, they tend to do anything
to survive.
That is the first thing I want us to understand here. Who is to provide employment? Is it the government? Is it the entrepreneurs? Is it the people that are being cajoled into joining Boko Haram that is to provide employment for themselves? This is on the one hand. On the other hand, I equally want us to look at it from the fact that there is low level of literacy.
Literacy, yeah, that's another one.
Who is supposed to make everybody lettered? Is it the government? Is it the entrepreneurs? Is it the military? So there are so many things that are wrong. When you want to fight any crime anywhere in the world, the first thing to do is what? Conscientization of people. Let people know why this is wrong and why it should not be allowed. The Ministry of Information, the National Orientation Agency, in fact, when, I don't know, I can't remember, when last I see, will I say, propagation on the National Tele, the National Orientation Agency, and all other parastatals saddled with the responsibility of creating enlightenment to people. I can't remember when last I have witnessed or see any of these entities delivering such in this regard. Secondly, there is what I talked about a few weeks ago, new normal. A concept that has been introduced during 2007-2008 after the economic recession.
Yes.
the youths are badly affected by these new normal activities and trends. Who are joining Boko Haram? The youth. Who are easily cajoled? The youth. Why? Because of lack of enlightenment. Majorly. You can't give me 10 million naira and you ask me to go and kill myself or kill my brother. It's not going to work. It is not working because I already know the implication of what I am doing. A lot of people joining Boko Haram are hypnotized. Those that are not hypnotized are lured into it, you know, with the belief that, oh, if you die now, you are going straight to heaven. What is causing that? Lack of proper education. Now, if people are well educated, indulging in any dubious thing for survival is limited. This is key, because your level of education will be able to inform you that if I cannot get it through this means, I should be able to get it through this means.
Which within the ambits of the law, within the legitimate purview.
That is it. But these people that are being taken to join Boko Haram or that are easily cajoled to doing one bad thing or the other are those that they are not educated, they don't know the consequences of their actions if at all they begin or if at all they are caught, you know. And there is one thing that government is also doing. It started during the era of President Umaru Musa Yar'Adua. May God be pleased with his soul.
Right.
He did a lot. This idea of granting amnesty. He has a good intention. But at the end of the day, we are beginning to think that this...
It should now become a blanket, a standard.
A standard that, okay, anybody who is at the verge of being caught for doing will now come out and say, I surrender, let the government take me in, and, you know, things like that. So when we encourage such, and we try to entice people, and one funny thing about this country is that our moral values have collapsed completely across all boards. The traditional institution, the religion institution, the moment they discover that, oh, this person is having some money, the way and manner that person will be celebrated is to the amazement of some of us.
There will be
without probing into
difference to them.
Thank you very much. So when people who are not informed, well informed, are noticing this, they will be pushed to accept any offer put before them,
so that they also
can belong, in quote. Let me use that. So many things are happening, and it still boils down to, fine, the government coming forth to put some checks and balances in place that will enable and promote moral education, will continue to enlighten people, will continue to probe results. Because we are not probing results. We have to start probing results.
You know, someone has said that this is a nation without, a nation without consequences. I've forgotten how you put it exactly. A nation where your actions, no consequences follow, whether you do whatever you do.
Yes. It's our actions now in Nigeria, except if at the end of the day, the person involved is also one big shot somewhere. Okay? Go to the prison. Last month, we see and watched so many chief justices of the states going to prisons, you know, to free inmates. If you hear the testimony of some of these people that were freed, you'll be shocked that how on earth can this be happening in our country? Awaiting trial will spend 5 years, 6 years.
Yes.
He doesn't even know the offense he committed.
In first instance. So that's another, you know, some of these issues are they're so complicated and complex and intertwined. Now, that's the justice system, the justice administration system that you are talking about again there.
Yes.
Meanwhile, maybe someone who truly has committed some serious offense now gets
a lesser sentence. Or at the end of the day will not even be convicted at the first place.
Or will be rehabilitated from the line of your talk before, amnesty.
So all these things are sending signal to the entire populace
that you can eat your cake and still
have
it.
And that is the reason,
and eat it, yeah.
And that is the reason we are where we are today. It's an enormous problem we are facing, honestly, across board. Not only in the criminal justice, not only in the law enforcement, even in the education system, our education, there are series of things.
You're saying that to tackle this problem of Boko Haram or whatever insurgency, the banditry,
yes,
generally the insecurity challenge that we face,
yes,
there has to be a bouquet, a kind of an array of
things to put in place.
And this spans
from
like
our
education,
yes,
the criminal justice
system, yes,
and I mean, who gets what in terms of reprieve, in terms of
that is
prerogative of mercy.
If you are aware that if you are faulty, you are going to be punished, you are not going to engage in it. I remember while growing up, back in the days, our mommy will hold our ears. I'll tell your father, if you don't retreat, knowing fully well that your father is a no-nonsense man,
yeah, you will behave.
You know, statements alone will make us to retrace our steps backwards from what we intended doing. But in Nigeria today, at a bus stop or military checkpoint, you say, I will kill you and nothing will happen. It has happened. A law enforcement agent telling somebody, a civilian, that is not armed, I will kill you and nothing will happen. It's as a result of the fact that, okay, so long as you are powerful, so long as you have somebody at the top,
you can always
get away with whatever you do, irrespective of whether the law permits it or not. So we have to come back and ask ourselves. Let me come back to the issue raised by the CDS. The CDS should please sit down and ask himself, do I really want to fight Boko Haram? If that answer is yes, he should look for people with that same mindset and desire to end the war of Boko Haram and begin to work with them.
That's quite challenging, because even from what you said before,
yes,
some of the people were supposed to leverage on, and I'm using your very words,
yes,
some of the people who are supposed to leverage on for our security happen to sometimes be they
call it aiding and abetting.
Yes, so that's challenging, but I mean, you have made your point. If you could find such persons,
yes,
that would be a major
stake and playing ground for us to start. Yes, international interests are there, but let me borrow a leaf from what is happening in Burkina Faso. Look at what Ibrahim Traore is doing. No one on earth will ever imagine that Burkina Faso can be on this path. There is sincerity of purpose on the path of the leader. And at the end of the day, he's trying to identify people who will key into his vision to work with. And they are already, very soon, I'm not surprised, Nigerians will start moving to Burkina Faso again.
Wow.
There are people there already.
I think, I hope not.
Okay.
You know, yeah, because let's believe that the Nigeria will get its
that is our prayer, and it must be done.
Okay. So,
it must be done.
all right. So if we believe so, let's believe so, and let's look forward to it, and,
All right.
and believe that Japa syndrome will soon be a thing of the past, and will be consigned to the rubbish heap of history. Now, okay, having said that, I think that we'll need to quickly go on a break, just to take a breather, and we'll be right back in a jiffy, and then we'll continue.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
The tribe and tongue may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians old and proud to serve our sovereign motherland. Our flag shall be a symbol that truth and justice reign. In peace or battle honored, and this we count as gain. To hand unto our children a banner without stain. O God of all creation, grant this our one request. Help us to build our nation where no man is oppressed, and so with peace and plenty Nigeria may be blessed.
My name is Sheilo BCFR, the Black Comedian of the Federal Republic. I tell you, when it comes to the best of entertainment, the best of news, the best of information, something that is educative, you're right here at the best place to see that. It's KAFTAN TV. You know what? Increase the volume. Keep watching. Don't touch the dial, okay?
It's your girl Nkechi Blessing Sunday. I want you.
Welcome back, Nigerians, and all over from, whether Nigerian, whether you're Senegalese, whether you're Ghanaian, whoever it is that's watching, I welcome you back to this station. It's about the best, if not the very best, I can assure you. And I want to encourage you to stay tuned. The name of the station is, tell your neighbor, King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network TV, but it's shortened. It's an acronym that you are familiar with, KAFTAN TV. So when we say KAFTAN TV, some people want to begin to say, oh, is it the kaftan he's wearing, or is it the kaftan that my guest is wearing? So I've broken it down for you now. King Adebayo Film and Theatre Arts Network TV. Put it together, you get KAFTAN. And so welcome back to KAFTAN TV. And this is the Abuja studio, and we're on the program, The Polity, your program, your darling program. And very shortly, the phone will be open, so you also can have a say, have your say. We go to another topic.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, the Minister of is it digital economy, telecommunications, and so on?
Yeah.
Bosun, Dr. Bosun.
Dr. Bosun.
Yeah. Did say yesterday that approval has been granted in principle for the telcos to increase their tariffs in order to be able to cover their costs and at least make something. And some people are saying this is inflicting more pain on the average Nigerian. But some other people are saying businesses must not be allowed to die. And not just that businesses must not be allowed to die, if these businesses are going to provide the prime quality services, then they need this
to sustain it.
They need to sustain it.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on this?
This is a very tough question, honestly, but first and first, the telcos, are they delivering their service or the service they pledged to deliver to Nigerians?
Or are mandated to deliver? Either they pledged or the law mandates
them to deliver. Yes.
All right.
They are doing so. From my own personal assessment,
yes,
of course, we have so many other public-owned enterprises in this country,
yeah,
and we have seen how each and every one of them is doing in terms of, service delivery. But the telcos, I will rate them 60-70%.
Right.
Which is
an A.
An A or a pass mark.
No.
Okay.
60 is even beyond pass mark.
All right.
When you talk about 70
75,
okay, maybe from 75, A. Yeah.
Now, the question I want, you see, one thing I have always been a proponent of probity in everything that I do. Before the minister will come and say the telcos wants to increase this and that, what is the cost of rendering the service in the first place? It's not just to come and make a blanket statement. All right? Looking at what they used to charge before the increment in fuel,
yeah,
compared to what they are still charging now, one will begin to wonder, how are they coping?
In actual fact, a report says that the last time that they had any such increase is over a decade. Or
of course, about a decade, yes. I think it was in 2015, 2016, that was when they increased their tariffs.
Okay.
All right.
So if it's 2015, that would be like we're going to 10 years
10
now.
years now.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you discover that what they are charging as their tariff, they will not be able to break even, if at all they want to continue to maintain their old tariff rate.
Okay.
However, this is not to say that we are not at the brink of collapsing, talking about Nigerians and the state of the economy, as we have it now.
No.
All right?
Yeah.
Will it be possible for them to increase their tariff and still kind of sustain the number of subscribers or customers that they have presently?
Will some not fall off?
Fall off as a result of the increment?
No.
What will now be the impact?
The net effect. Now, let me quickly supply this. Somebody has said, for example, that that should not be the move now, because according to him, but from his own analysis, he was saying that the number of subscribers has increased exponentially from where they started from. As of today, we have about, from certain reports sometime last year, NCC gave us, I think, a figure of 160-something million subscribers.
Okay.
Now, so if that is correct, and of course, subscription is ongoing every day.
Every day.
So it's very possible that you have gotten to 180 million or 90 or more.
Yeah.
Now, so this person, this school of thought is saying, why don't you just continue to increase subscription? And based on that, as your turnover increases, then of course your revenue will increase based on, because we was talking about economies of scale, which I think makes some economic sense too.
Yes, but the thing is, it's not going to work. He has only viewed it from one angle. You know, for example, while growing up, we have been taught and equipped to a certain level to do certain things.
Yeah.
If at the end of the day, I now try to bring in a change into my being that was not provided for at the foundation level, I'll crash. So, as the telcos are trying, according to that analogy or that opinion, kind of, if they want to increase their numbers of the number of subscription, definitely they need to equally increase the capacity of their facilities to be able to accommodate more and
expand their presence in terms of
infrastructures
all around. Yeah, I think
you understand. If not, if you limit,
if you're still on the same
level, you are now bringing in more. It's like bringing in, you know, burden into already choked space. At the end of the day, it will crash.
All right. So as far as you're concerned, you think that although there's also this clause that they are provided that the minister said, because they were asking, Bosun, and in fact the NCC
all right.
Executive Vice Chairman Meida,
Aminu Meida.
Now, both of them have said, even though the telcos are asking for about 100% increase, that they will not grant 100% increase. It will not be up to that, because they also are looking at the citizens' angle to protect the people. It went on to say that they will find a balance. And come to think of it, I remember that about 2 years ago, the telcos made this same move before, which the NCC rebuffed. And so you might just be right, I'm saying, with your analysis. But
in the first place, for the telcos to be demanding for, or to be proposing for 100% increment in the tariff is not logical.
All right.
Yes, it's not logical, because unless they just want to reduce, if not by 50%, their number of subscribers, Nigerians are already crying, you know, due to the state of our economy as it were now. And we believe that there is need. Maybe they just asked for 100% so that at the end of the day they can
get
come down
reasonable.
and get something reasonable.
Like how they say that when you want to, you shoot up in the sky so that you get something maybe on the branch of the tree. All right, okay. Viewers, I encourage you at this point to please weigh in on these topics, and maybe one more that we will be bringing up. And of course, the number remains 08029938365 and 365. I'll take it more slowly. 08029938365. I hope that's okay. It's on the screen right now, and so let's use that to call in and let's have your views. So as far as I'm concerned, Ibrahim, yes, there should be some increment, but it should be reasonable.
It should be reasonable for them to continue to be in business. Because if if they want to relocate, for example, due to harsh economic situation and doing business in Nigeria, at the end of the day, will still be at the receiving end. Nigerians will still be at the receiving end. So it's better. We know everything has increased in this country, especially in the last 1 to 2 years. Yes, but they should be considerate.
All right.
Yeah.
They should be considerate. Let's take this caller.
All right.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Your name and where you're calling from?
Ibrahim calling from Gwagwalada.
Oh, Gwagwalada, my Gwagwalada regular. You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Your topic is so interesting, particularly this current one you're on now.
All right, okay. So let's have your way in.
Thank you. You see, we must be very fair in our analysis. Where the cost of material, raw material increases, the product too must increase. Almost all the raw materials have increased. You see, most of their masts are being run by generators and the likes. So, immediately, their cost of production have gone up. So their product too must increase in price. So the only thing we can plead for is they should be considerate and not profit-minded in bringing out the new tariffs. And that should be done by NCC. That should mediate between them and their consumers. NCC should note that, of course, we have been overstressed, but that does not mean we should allow the telcos to crumble. Because we talk of increasing their subscribers. Once subscribers increase, infrastructure must increase. Otherwise, there will be too much stress on the infrastructure and will cause collapse. Obviously, so we don't want our communication system to collapse.
All right.
We just like having some government facilities, like in our industry. You have a lecture hall that is meant for 100 people, being used for over 1,000 people.
My God.
Some things are common. It's just like our electric facilities, where it's not being upgraded, and people, the population really continues to increase.
Yeah.
These green coolers and things like that, they talk. That's why we cannot stabilize. So we should avoid that in the communication system.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mustafa. All right. So Mustafa from Gwagwalada, they're saying there has to be fairness.
Oh, definitely.
Which is what
I have just pointed out.
Said,
yes.
And there should be some increase.
The reason there is a point Mustafa made there that it should be done by NCC.
Oh, definitely, sure.
It should be done
is
by managing the process.
Yes.
Now the question is, what will be the template of use by the NCC?
All right. Maybe after this one.
All right.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome to the show.
I'm calling from Nasarawa.
From Nasarawa, give me your name again.
Yes, sir. I'm speaking with Anna, calling from Nasarawa.
All right, good. You know something? Please cut down the volume of your TV set and maybe move away from it. Thank you. Because the world wants to listen to you, you know, and you don't want to be the problem to your own communication is gone. And so you were saying?
Yes, the template. It is one thing for the NCC to be saddled with the responsibility of regulating the operations of the telcos.
Yes.
It is another thing for the NCC to be able to convince Nigerians that based on indices A, B, C, D of the operation of telcos, this is what we think is reasonable as the new tariff.
I think they said they will bring such regulatory this thing out into the open in the next 1 week or two.
Okay.
Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
You're welcome, sir.
How are you, sir?
Fine, thank you. Your name?
My name is Peter Daniel from the Taraba State, Gato Local Government, Mokimbu.
All right. You just fell short of telling us your house number. Right. Now go on, please. Let's have your take.
What I want to say is that you see how things are very cost, and the thing make people to involve in things that make people that becoming useless because of lack of increasing things. The government is telling that things will be very cheaper and better as the dollar. See how now the way before they buy machine. Now they are buying machine 1.3, 1.6, 1. Something that before it's not like that. But see how the things are becoming. Hello?
Go on, please.
Hello?
Steve, please go on.
And the things now becoming higher and now make the things people are now finding difficult. But one thing is that if now dollar come down, if the fuel come down, everything will be known. If not like that, things will not keep on going as they before.
All right, Daniel, thank you so very much. Oh, yeah, Stephen Daniel, yeah. Thank you so much. So that's all the way from Taraba too.
Yes.
Yeah.
So looking at his own view, things are increasing. And that is the reason the telcos are also...
Yeah, he just didn't nail it, but it's implied
with what they are saying.
Yes.
So the cost of, running business in Nigeria is increasing by the day. You can imagine one mast will be using 1 or 2 20 kVA mechano generators, and the consumption per hour
is huge.
Is huge.
Yeah. And then don't forget there are staff
definitely employed to man all these assets. So at the end of the day, they have every reason to bring to the public that they want to increase their tariff. But they should be considerate and improve in their service delivery.
All right.
Yes.
So once that is, from all indication, it looks like Nigerians are ready. Nigerians are saying, well, don't kill us.
Yes.
We're ready to take some.
You see, if you consider other
again, because Nigerians are very communication. I don't want to use crazy. Nigerians really love communication.
Definitely.
Nigerians love to talk. Nigerians love to stay in contact. They like to be connected with their families, with loved ones, and so on and so forth. And of course, there are official things that also must
be done.
Yeah, so I think it has become a very essential service. Many times you sit back and think, how did we even survive without this?
Many of times I've asked myself such questions. While we were in school back in the days, we used to write letters.
Yes.
You go, and if you can't write, or there is no way of means of, you keep on wondering. You mean I have stayed away for 2 months, 3 months without communication? You set out on a journey, and it is after 3 days, 4 days before your people will now say, "Oh, this is where I am now."
But no, just right there,
a click.
Yeah, so
it's we are impressed. It has really brought a lot of innovation into our way of life. And the telecom industry has done a lot in terms of providing these services. And they can do more.
Oh, sure.
They can do more.
Sure.
They should just be considerate and
All right.
we'll reason along
with them.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
All right. So, what should we? Nigerians are talking about the death threats. I talked about the death threats.
Okay.
Between or death threats allegations.
Okay.
Between Peter Obi and Felix Moka. Both of them politicians in their own rights. One being the National Publicity Secretary of the ruling All Progressives Congress, one being the presidential candidate in the last election for Labour Party.
Election.
And how did this all start? In his New Year address, Peter Obi reeled out certain things, and before you know it, the party responded by saying that he has a lot of the things he reeled out were incorrect, that they were like maybe tissues of lies or falsehood being perpetrated and all that. And he now said, Moka said he has crossed. Okay, there was a report that he was now being called liar, whatever.
Yes.
And then that there's a word that was used concerning him.
Obi?
No, against Obi.
Against Obi.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so this man was now saying, was sort of endorsing it, that, well, he was being called, he called him prophet, doomsday prophet.
Okay.
Doomsday prophet. And certain reactions came up, and he said, yes, why won't he be called doomsday prophet? Because he has crossed several lines of truth, apparently. So, but the Obi camp is not taking lightly to that. They now said, when he said he had crossed the line and he should accept whatever comes to him, that sounded like a threat.
A threat, definitely, yeah.
That sounded like a threat.
It is a threat.
And the camp of Obi
is not taking it with levity.
Yeah. And they are saying that there have been death threats on Peter Obi. Now, Felix Moka has come back into the scene to say, oh, he too has had
some, of course.
So there's the...
these are matters of security.
Exactly.
And I want to advise Peter Obi and Felix to tread with caution, because they are both public figures. They have followers. They are authorities in their own rights, and whatever they say, this is not a law court, but can be held, against and used against them.
It's in a public space.
So, it's in a public space.
Yeah.
So there is no smoke without fire. For Peter Obi to come out and say that his life is threatened, yes, he may have one or two things or evidences to substantiate his claim.
Felix Moka is saying he should provide evidence.
Yes. And people or things like this, unless it has become a heated debate or it has been charged to court before some of the evidence begin to surface.
Felix Moka is saying that he is not taking his own case lightly, because he has, according to him, about 400 death threats, and that he has gone to the law enforcement agents. He has made a report and given some. Because according to him, he was told directly, not in terms of, in fact, that they describe graphically how they will take him out. Graphically, like, oh, maybe I don't know what's going on.
Of course.
Imagine how when it says graphically, it can be quite horrible. So that's how bad it is concerning the. So I think that, like you said, both parties must tread carefully, because they are leaders in their own rights. And when they keep doing this, there are less discerning followers who can just take it upon themselves
and execute whatever plans they have.
And it then becomes a crisis.
This is one of the reasons why people all over the world keep saying that politics is a dirty game. Politics is a dirty game. So they have to be very careful. If at all, you see, there are so many things that can be resolved quietly without creating a scene.
Yeah.
You know, but when it comes to issue of death threat, I don't think Peter Obi will just lie about it. I'm sorry, I am not his lawyer. I'm not advocating for him. I am only analyzing the statement he has put before the public space. You know, but while he may have one reason or the other to come to the open to say such, I equally want to enjoin him to be careful, because
but is that not where salvation lies? Let's take this call.
Okay.
That might just be, who knows. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, how are you, sir?
Fine, thank you.
Can I say something about Peter Obi and other person?
Why not? Why not? But after your, okay, is this Gwagwalada?
Peter Daniel from Taraba.
Okay, hi, I know it's someone who has called before. Peter Daniel, please go ahead.
About both of them, their leaders.
Yes.
And people are looking onto them. And now, if there's mistake between them, they're supposed to handle it in the secret so that we not be affected them, so that people will see them like they will on dishonor. Because that thing that you do, people are looking at you. Now I see the way you do it. The people will say, God, this one, I think this one is a reasonable somebody, or it's so this thing. But from there, the respect people will say, no, this is politics. People can take you granted, not consider you again.
All right, Daniel. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, but I was asking,
yes,
is their salvation not in speaking up? If you keep it to yourself and somebody actually activates, I mean, put action to. Yeah, exactly.
You see, the thing is, salvation is in speaking out. But how you speak out is something to be considered.
All right. Okay.
You understand? How you speak out is something to be considered. Issue of security has to be handled with utmost care.
I mean, that tallies with what Daniel is saying, for example.
Yes.
Because, for example, you could have avoided putting it on in the public space and go to the security, law enforcement agents and make a report.
That is
put
it.
your evidence.
Because now,
I
have never met Peter Obi, I have never met Felix Noka, but I am here discussing in their matter, which shouldn't be.
Especially because of the
kind of situation, the delicate nature of, you know, the subject matter. Death threat is not an easy thing. If you issue a death threat, a statement that I am threatening your life, for example, I'm not going to take it with levity.
That's correct. Let's do this. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is
Sule. Okay, Sunday from Aba. You probably are our last caller. Do this. Go on. You need to speak out. We can't hear you clearly. All right. So you think that they have done right?
Yeah, they have done right. Somehow.
Okay, so for you it was good. It was good that the public. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Ibrahim, we'll begin to have to bring this to a close. This is usually the size of our program.
All
it's a 90 minutes program.
Okay.
And so we'll need to go now. You probably have one last line, just in 30 seconds.
Yes. Peter Obi and Felix Moka.
It can be on 3.
Please try as much as possible to resolve your differences. You people are gentlemen, and the future is bright for both of you. And yes, the telcos that wants to increase the tariff, please do that, but be considerate while doing it, so that we can continue to enjoy your service and you too can continue to be in business.
Right.
And as to the our gallant soldiers at the forefront fighting Boko Haram, God will continue to strengthen you. But remember, when God created the earth in the first place and gave dominion to man, God stepped aside. It is left for us to do the needful, for us to have our life go the way we want it. So the CDS should try as much as possible to probe the internal mechanism and systems, in place to ensure that things are done the way it should be from within before we begin to look outside for people infiltrating into our system. And
Thank
to
you
Nigerians, thank you for having me, and do have a wonderful day.
Thank you so very much, Ibrahim. Thanks for coming on the show. And thank you, my wonderful production team. Thank you, my producer. And thanks to even the station itself for even having this brilliant idea of this TV station. I want to say congratulations to those behind this dream, this vision. And also to say thank you to all the callers who made it. Ibrahim Mustafa, Peter Daniel, Ibrahim Mustafa from Gwagwalada, Peter Daniel from Taraba, and there was this other person.
Yes, from Aba.
From Sunday from Aba. Thank you so very much for calling. We can do this a lot more together. Stay tuned. Tomorrow is another day, and the Polity will be on air same time, same station tomorrow. Don't miss out, and tell your neighbor not to miss out also. We will leave it here, and it's bye for now.